CD Projekt Red wants a new audience for The Witcher 4. That's right, Chud. You're no longer welcome here. You probably didn't even vote for Kamala. How dare you? Oh yes, they want a new audience. Some may say a modern audience even. And yeah, let's see how that works out for them.
So there is a crazy conversation happening around The Witcher 4. You guys already know this. I made like 2 videos already on The Witcher 4. It's a franchise that I've thoroughly enjoyed all the way through up to Witcher 3. And of course, with Witcher 4, there are some issues, right? We've talked about lore issues. I don't really give a shit.
Oh god, I don't know too many of the lore issues, but the lore issues are supremely wild. And this is not even books. This is just, basically through the Witcher games, okay? Witcher 3, Ciri is arguably, honestly, kind of the strongest character. She can do Witcher well, she can't do Witcher stuff, but you get the point. She's trained by Witcher, she's trained by one of the best mages out there, and she can teleport because she's an eldritch fucking abomination demon blood person. It just happens. And then in The Witcher 4, now she's an ugly, weak Witcher. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Shit about how she looks. She's clearly older and fatter in the face or whatever. At the end of the day,
she's not necessarily fatter in the face, but they tried their best to make her as manly and unreasonably unwomanly as possible. Okay? They made the hair look almost as tucked in as a man's. They made her jawline ridiculously unreasonable for a woman. They made her chin just go like that. There is nothing feminine. They tried their gosh damn darnest to remove all the feminine features that they could from her. And that is atrocity. That is sad. Because this is what you get from Vogue Games. They try to destroy women, okay? Hot women, no. Women that look like women, no. Only new male looking bi women or whatever you want to call it. It's pathetic.
Already know they're going to do all of this. This is not too shocking. I'm more concerned about the lore aspect and how blatantly ridiculous it is. But at the end of the day, it's very...
Yep. I mean, she became a Witcher too. Just effectively become weaker than she is. There you go. Fun times.
Clear that The Witcher 4 is not really meant for fans of The Witcher previous, right? I don't really feel like fans of Witcher are at the forefront of the conversation. I truly believe, and I'm glad that I've gotten confirmed with this article and this interview, but I truly believe since the beginning that Witcher 4 was going to be for new players. They're going to try to get as many new people as possible into the franchise who are going to want to be focused solely on Ciri being The Witcher for the next potential 3 games, because they'll probably end up doing more. They'll probably end up doing...
Yep. Because CDPR Red is woke at this moment, but they have not had their woke disasters just yet. All the things are there, all the decision makings, the literal woke awards that they have received. CDPR is effectively dead. They are not the people who made the previous Witcher games. They are not the people who made the previous Cyberpunk games. None of those people are almost left in the company. So now it's the time for the disasters. Now, Witcher 4 most likely will be an absolute success sales-wise, but after that, it's the decline is going to start. Okay? The decline is going to start.
Doing Witcher 5 and Witcher 6 as well.
There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Yep, be just pretentious and stupid for no reason. We watched this, and one of the stupidest things that people tried to say, oh, it's her father in the trailer, that got her to slay the hag or protect the child, whatever they want to use for this, right? Well, if that's true, this makes no sense, because, well, she clearly is not arriving at the right time. She clearly then previously had enough time to actually save the girl, and none of this makes sense. All this trailer does is establish that she's super right, she's super smart, and she's super technically capable. Even though she's weaker than she was before for no apparent reason, but there you go. My take on it is, well, it's called The Witcher, so she can't... well, she can't really be a space troglodyte elf, you know what I'm saying? She needs to be a Witcher, so there you kind of go.
So now we have an article here from Fandom Pulse with a headline that reads, The Witcher 4 EP admits that CD Projekt Red is aiming for new players and people who do not play our games. Now, again, to be very clear, there is a dual-sided argument to this, right? He didn't just say that. He also said that they are going to try to make the game familiar for people who did play it prior, but ultimately they are trying to go for newer players. They want to entice newer people because the franchise has been sleeping for a few years now, and they feel like they're at the point.
Actually, wait, let me check one thing. The Witcher game sales numbers. Can we actually get it? So over 75 million units sold as of March 2024. All the games combined, it seems like. The Witcher sales global sales statistics. Okay, let's see this. Statistica. God, I hate Statistica. Sales numbers by game. Let's see if that helps. Okay, let's see. Ah, yes, The Witcher, the first game, 1 million sales. The Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings, 2.2 million sales. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, 50 million sales. You know what I'm kind of thinking? There is no reason to ever say that you're looking for new players when clearly new players are already flooding in. There is no reason with sales data like that to ever say that you are aiming to get new players unless this is some kind of political thing. Unless you want to swap out in reality the players. Because by the sales numbers, which honestly I don't super trust if I'm being complete honest, but I can't really find a better link of summaries or anything. So, we're just gonna have to go with that, I guess, unless someone in the comments links that. Well, not links, but copies the actual sales numbers for everything. So, yeah, if someone can do that, that would be awesome. But the point is, if the sales numbers are growing by a reasonable margin every year, every game, they have no need to look for new players because they're not even close to most likely reaching that cap of players. So this doesn't make sense. This is just hiding something. By saying this, they're just trying to hide a lie.
Point where they can entice new players into the franchise, which the only reason you would want to do that is obviously because you probably are going to go further with Witcher 5 and Witcher 6, and Ciri will be at the helm. Just like Geralt was at the helm for the first 3, Ciri will probably be at the helm for the last 3 for all we know. So let's get into this article from Fandom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Let's see exactly what they had to say regarding Witcher 4, because I'm very interested. And until this point, we haven't had any kind of explanation or understanding as to how Ciri was able to survive the trial of the grasses, and I'm sure that we're never going to get it.
They're going to give some bullshit, stupid explanation. They're going to give it.
Answer, right? They're going to try to ride that out as much as possible in the hopes that they can
also, you know what's gonna happen? She's from the School of the Lynx, it's been confirmed, and well, that's a new thing. Either it's some kind of old mysterious organization which would explain her surviving the trial, or she made it because she's a wonderful girl boss now, who was previously stronger with her stupid eldritch elf blood, and because she could teleport and one-shot things, but now she's struggling against level 1 hags. It is what it is.
And switch people into buying Witcher 4, and then when you buy Witcher 4 and you understand later on in the game.
Also, I just want to also remind everyone how amazing she is, because she's a water bender, electricity bender, fire bender, probably metal bender along the lines. And I mean, she's the fucking Avatar, okay?
Because it's not going to happen at the start. When they understand and explain to you how she survived the trial of the grasses, I'm sure it's going to be something so fucking simple as she just powered through it. That's basically it. She just powered.
That's actually also what I'm thinking. Oh, I was just so amazing I could. which technically is kind of on brand for the character, but that would be the worst and dumbest way to portray it.
Through it. You're not supposed to be taking the trial as an adult. You're definitely not supposed to be surviving it for the most part if you're a woman. And both of these things she was able to do. So she's just gonna power her way.
I mean, Hypno, listen, you bigot who probably is using math, but this is not how math works, okay? Math is a social construct. And clearly, the fact that adults can't survive the trial is a negative. And women can't survive the trial. That's also a negative. What do you have when you have two negatives? You have a positive. That's right. Two negatives make a positive. That's what you get for being a bigot.
Through this shit, most likely. Anyway, Mario Kazata, the executive producer for CD Projekt Red, The Witcher 4 admitted the company is aiming for new players with the game. In an interview with IGN, discussing...
Wait, is that a woman's name? Feels like that is a woman's name.
In an interview with IGN discussing The Witcher 4 following the release of its announcement trailer at the Game Awards, Midorega said, "We want to aim for the new players." She elaborated the wider audience and also the people that know the franchise but who maybe do not play our games. I think it's insane that for a game as popular as the Witcher series, I think it's insane to say that you're going for the wider audience. What does that mean exactly? Like,
Yep, there's still plenty of place to grow. Now, you can go for a wider audience, and that's completely normal, by the way, but that's if you have established that there's, the audience cap has been reached.
You guys have a pretty big audience as it is, and here's the problem. And I'll tell you two like this. When it comes to these developers that have previously established franchises, that they always tend to do certain decisions, and you guys know what those decisions are, that they say are meant to try to entice the wider audience, what ends up happening is they lose the entire audience. That's the problem. They end up alienating the previous audience to try to hopefully go for the wider audience. They never know how to try to just satisfy previous audiences while going for the wider audience that they think exists out there. And then what ends up happening is that you end up with a pretty big failure on your hands. We've experienced that many times through gaming already. And
if it's a success, good. I will also gain from that. If it's a disaster, well, I'm still winning, boys. So, 10 out of 10, honestly, whatever The Witcher does, I'm benefiting from that.
Seems like this is going to be yet a...
For everyone else's hope, I do hope the game is a success, but I'm still benefiting no matter what, boys.
Another example, and it's unfortunate, right? It's the same thing with Dragon Age: The Veilguard. They said they were going for the modern audience. They said they were going for the majority of players.
I love Dragon Age Veilguard so much. Such a disaster. And yes, Dragon Age Veilguard was literally meant for the modern audience. And they sold barely 1 million copies of a franchise that previously has sold 12 million copies. There's your modern audience, BioWare.
That's what they said anyway, and they ended up going with nobody, right? The game fucking bombed, and you're gonna have shills out there saying, "Oh, no, it didn't." Yes, it did. They have not announced 1 million sales.
Yep, it definitely did.
Because they don't want to.
Bomb. That is not a success, Jesus.
Because they haven't hit it. And even if they did, at this point, they are dragging their feet. They need 5 million sales minimum to try to break even. They're nowhere close. The game is a financial failure. The fact that the developers won't even talk about sales tells me everything I need to know about how much of a failure that game is. So we're experiencing something...
Ah, yes. Hypnotic has seen my videos. He's learning! He's learning! He understands the secret of every company. Sales good, you talk about them, you boast about them because that makes more sales. Sales bad, you don't mention it because shit. Haha. It's basic business principles, boys. These are fundamental rules of nature.
Very similar, but I don't think it's going to be in the sense of as bad. I don't think it's going to be as bad because let's be real. Aesthetically anyway, the game is pretty Witcher, right? Like if you're looking at it.
Yeah, currently we only see this as a problem, the fact that they intentionally uglified her. For no reason, because there is no benefit to uglifying her. What purpose, except a political statement, does it serve to uglify a character? None. None. Absolutely none. It's either political or it's some kind of, virtue signaling thing. It cannot be anything else. Okay? It just can't.
It seems like Witcher, looks like Witcher for the most part, but there's something glaringly off, and that's obviously people are not used to seeing Ciri at the helm, and people like myself are wondering how the hell she's an actual Witcher, but that's neither here nor there because the activists on Twitter, they don't care about that. They'll be like, "Who cares? The game doesn't follow the lore 100% anyway, so we're allowed to have female Witchers. Give us our diversity so that we can go on Twitter and ask for a free game code because we're never going to actually buy the game, but we're going to say that we're going to support it." And never actually follow through. Yeah, that's basically what's happening here. This approach will seemingly affect not only the story, but the gameplay in the game. Game director Sebastian explained, "We create story-driven games, so we want to make sure that people that..."
It's like almost gaming is the last bastion of folk to fight over somehow, even though they have literally made zero progress in subverting gaming in general. I mean, companies do just bankrupt themselves over folk politics, and that's pretty much it. That's it. Gamers are not buying this because journalists and game journalists are some of the dumbest people ever. They literally look at us consumers and they think that we're some kind of autistic garbage that literally needs to be pointed in the direction of what we need to think. And they couldn't be further wrong. Again, there's no one watching this video who is literally just listening to me and thinking to themselves, "He will tell me everything I need to think." No, I'm probably gonna get a negative comment if I say something stupid. That's what's gonna happen. Okay? I don't have any power to actually make people en masse think something. Okay? If I say something dumb, I'm gonna be probably hung up to dry for it. That's how it works. Okay? People, gamers, can think for themselves. They don't require someone to point in the direction that they need to go or think.
Buy games for story, they'll be able to experience a story in their own way, and they'll be simply able to approach it. This game's gonna have a journalist mode. For sure. This game's gonna have a hardcore journalist mode where it makes all the decisions for you, where you don't have to do a damn thing. The combat's gonna be easy as pie, and
I'm worried about the story mostly here. Again, if you have not seen the trailer analysis that I did, I am worried about the story because this seems extremely dead center typical girl boss shit. Always right, always perfect, never wrong, never in doubt, and all the decisions are clearly marked as this is the right choice, you must do X. And I think the story is going to suffer because of this.
You'll be able to experience the story in your own way. But people that are looking for specific challenges, they will also be able to experience the story in a challenging way, he added. So they're basically confirming there's going to be different difficulties. Fine, whatever.
That's good.
In regards to the story, Kalimba claims that the company wants to put player agency at the center, and that's seemingly why they chose to make Ciri the main protagonist. Now, here's the amazing thing. I mean, this picture is glorious, number one, because this picture is like super girl boss picture, in my opinion, and I'm the one that defended her looks. I don't think she looks like a man at all, but ultimately this right here.
This one is probably the best picture of her, ironically, because she just looks like a crazy woman. And I think that's the lighting. I think that's just the lighting. This is probably her most feminine picture. I will agree with Hypno with that, okay? But everywhere else, it's just... No. It's just... I mean, you can kind of tell that she's a woman, but again, they went through so much effort to make her just look as... Well, what's the bi-gender? You know, new male as possible.
I'm more worried about how she's going to act versus how she's going to look. And it's very clear she's going to act like a fucking insufferable bitch, probably. Yep. But anyway, he said that in regards to the story, he wants to put player agency at the forefront. We want to let players try to define her. He explained she's about to form...
That's a lie. You cannot allow people to define a character that's already perfect. A character that always does the right thing. Again, it's just like Dragon Age Veilguard. There are no real choices. The game has no real choices or outcomes that people care about. It just doesn't. Okay? And that's the level that I think that we're going to see here. Oh, here's your choice. Do nothing or do nothing. Oh, great. Yay.
from her own codex on her own terms, the way that she actually deals with the monsters, the way that she deals with quests, the adventures in her own unique way. Yes, because clearly all the
unique.
long history of monster
Slay Queen, yas.
slaying and all of the information that they have about certain monsters and the way that witchers deal with those monsters, yeah, throw that shit out the water. We're gonna have Ciri make up her own fucking mind about how she wants to deal with monsters, even though there is a long established history from multitudes of witchers that have put together information about how to defeat certain monsters. No, we're gonna throw that out the fucking window. She's gonna do it on her own terms. Yeah, you see this wording right here, this is what makes me very worried. This is what makes me worried that with a character that shouldn't be a girl boss, with a character that should be essentially special.
Also, this is even more stupid because she literally threw away her own uniqueness and became a Witcher. I mean, if you're gonna become a Witcher, then you probably should do things the Witcher way. Previously, when you weren't a Witcher, but you were the special existence in the world, literally, by the way, you could have actually added this as a thing that she finds her own ways to deal with things because she is a different existence to the world. But now that she's a Witcher, like what do you mean? You're just gonna do things less efficiently because you're a woman? Okay, I mean, kinda on brand, I guess.
In every way and be able to actually be a protagonist when done correctly. I feel like this is not the right mindset of people who want to do this character correctly. This is the mindset of people who just wanted to put a woman at the forefront and they're going to do everything they possibly can to make her into an insufferable fucking girl boss. It's quite unfortunate. Ciri should not be that. That's the thing. Ciri, for all intents and purposes, has actual lore that explains why she should be here, at least as the main.
By the way, the best thing that we can get lucky about is the fact that hopefully she's gonna be a full-blown lesbian. Hopefully. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's Joker, boys. Anyway, that was Hypnotic. 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye.